Welcome to a view from the top of the goalpost. I am Diesel coming to you from Diesel's Dapper Dungeon of Delight. And it sure is dapper in these parts. Uh, I am joined by my good buddy and also the co-host of this show. I used to be the co-host with the mostest, but on this occasion, it is the Dadillac, Chad.
Aw, thanks. It feels so good to have the mostest. But yes, I am here. I am upset, and I am just now realizing I didn't write week 17. So, but yeah, it is what it is. You do the recap while I. Yeah, I was gonna say do the recap while I fix that.
Well, I had myself a pretty good week last week. I ended up going 13-3. Only got a couple games wrong. Chad went 9-7. We have 4 games different, so just like a couple weeks ago, it just flip-flopped back to where we were, which is weird because yeah, you had that week where you won all 4 games that were different. Now I did the same, and I went out on a limb, and I went with Houston, and they won. And I went with New Orleans, and they won. I told you I had gut feelings on those teams, but yeah. So my overall record right now is 140-83-1, and Chad is 137-86-1, and yeah, it was. Not gonna lie to you. I didn't watch any football on Saturday. Didn't see a single snap because where I was at isn't football household, I guess. And yeah, it was Christmas Eve, so I mean, I know what happened. I don't have the experience of actually watching the games like I would on a normal week. I watched the Packer game. I mean, and that's really about it. I saw a little bit of Monday night and then turned it off pretty early in the third quarter because it was yeah. But and I saw the second half of Thursday night, which was pretty fun at the end. But yeah, let's talk about this week because I ain't missing this week. I'm telling you right now because we have a full slate of games on Sunday. We have 14 games on Sunday.
Oh yeah!
And I am so excited for Red Zone. And we also have a game that is worthy of Monday Night Football for once. For the first time in I don't know how long. We actually have a Monday Night Football game that is good. But we'll get there eventually. We got to start with Thursday Night Football. It is the last game of 2022. And it takes place on the 29th of December. We have the 11-4 Dallas Cowboys traveling to the 7-8 Tennessee Titans. Dallas is favored by 10.5. And how many times has Dallas been favored by double digits and it's come back to bite them in the ass?
A lot.
But Tennessee they're not good. They've lost any momentum that they had early in the season. And Dallas just had a big victory against the Eagles. I know it was without Jalen Hurts, but it's a big victory nonetheless. And Chad, you just need to listen to me. I told you the Eagles weren't going to finish the season with 1 loss, and if they were going to lose a game, it was going to be a division game. I called it.
You did. You called it. I mean, Gardner Minshew played his heart out. That last fumble by Miles Sanders was just absolutely ridiculous. I know you didn't watch all the games, but man, it was the ending of a lot of games this past week on Saturday was just sickening. The Vikings, we'll get to talk about them too later, winning that game on a 61-yard field goal. It makes you want to vomit everywhere. But I really thought that the Cowboys were going to choke away that game last week, but they did not. You were right. But this game scares the shit out of me because once again, as you said, how many double-digit lead favorites have the Cowboys been? And I think they've only covered, one time, and that was against the Colts. And that was only because they scored 30-some points in one quarter. Like, the whole rest of the game, they weren't even close to covering. And they only finally covered at the end. I mean, I'm taking the Cowboys here. The Titans, I called them a sham many, many moons ago. And I was proven right because they are nothing but a sham. I think they've now lost 5 or 6 straight games. And they look like...
5.
5, yeah. they look like a shell of a team. They're not even like competitive. Ryan Tannehill's out. They're starting the rookie Malik Willis, and Derrick Henry might not play this game because he's got a hip injury and it's a short week. So yeah, I'm taking Dallas.
The last time Tennessee won was against Green Bay on Thursday Night Football.
Wow,
I'm going
when
Dallas
I was in Jamaica.
Too. Yeah, I'm going Dallas as well, and I don't think that this is going to be a good game to watch.
No, I have a lot of invested interest in this game because I have a lot of fantasy players going, and I am in the fantasy championship in one of my leagues, thankfully. At least I made it in one.
Lucky you.
And I'm playing Diesel in the loser bowl in another one.
Yep. That's where I live. That's where I live. Well, anyways, moving on to the very first game of 2023. And it is game not worthy for that title. So I should have switched them around just for fun, but this is the order that I had when I listed them. We have the 4-11 Arizona Cardinals traveling to the 5-10 Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta is favored by 3.5, and I don't really think it matters. Both these teams are not good. Atlanta has lost its luster. They had for a lot of the season, they were a lot of fun to watch, but all of a sudden, they lost it. Similar to like Seattle, but I don't know. Arizona is just bad. I am reluctantly going to pick Atlanta because I don't know who to pick in this game, and they're at home, and Arizona's bad.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are bad, and man, do you remember how fun Atlanta was like 4 or 5 weeks ago? Like, it was the game of the week every week. They never won, but at least they kept it competitive and interesting. And now that they're starting their rookie quarterback, he doesn't seem to have it yet. And also, I know that Kyle Pitts wasn't, producing on the field, but I at least feel like the option of having him out there was making defenses play them a little more honestly. And now they're kind of boring to watch at this point, which is really sad to say about Atlanta. Man, is it Trace McSorley starting again for the Cardinals? I would assume. Who knows?
I don't know, man.
You know what? Just to be different, to spice things up, I'll take the Cardinals, even though I think they're an absolutely atrocious team. I think Atlanta's just also on the backslide, and I think J.J. Watt's playing out of his mind since he's now announced that he's retiring after this year, and he's really, I think he's gonna go on a high note. Maybe he has a big game.
Yeah, I feel bad that he never made it to the Super Bowl. Maybe if he would have come to Green Bay, who knows? Maybe he was the missing piece. I doubt it, but it would have been nice if we would have drafted TJ. But
if he would have drafted TJ Watt, he 1,000% would have been a Green Bay Packer.
Traded out of the spot that drafted him the pick later, so could have had him. But yeah. I don't know. This game's going to suck. Not really looking forward to it.
What's the over-under of this game?
Oh, over-under is 40.5, and I could see that happening just because they both suck.
Yeah, that's a bonus lock. I'm not putting either bronze, silver, or gold on this. And last week I did go 2-1, folks. So the friggin' Lions are the ones who let me down, and no one saw that coming, all right? No one saw the Lions giving up almost 400 yards of rushing to the Carolina Panthers, all right?
I mean, are you the king of segues or what? Because the next game is at noon on Sunday. 3-12 Chicago Bears traveling to the 7-8 Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored by 5.5. And as Chad said, they got run over on Saturday. I didn't see the game, but it was embarrassing. I know that much. From what I did see of the game and from all the talk I've heard about the game, it was not good for anybody but the Green Bay Packers. But with this game, the Chicago Bears division game, they have nothing to play for. They're trying to maybe figure some things out with Justin Fields. It's indoors. I could easily see the Bears winning this game. And it's going to be a real test for Detroit because they are on the fringe of the playoffs. And if they can't beat the Bears, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. So this is a bigger game for Detroit than next week at Green Bay, because if they don't win this game, the game at Green Bay is probably not going to matter for them. I don't know if Detroit's going to win, though. I'm like really 50-50 on this game because I could see Justin Fields running all over him.
Yeah, this is another game that I do like that the NFL finally switched to having division games like very heavily at the end of the year, so teams can't take it off. Where back in the day, like weeks 16 and 17, you could basically it was a wash because you were playing just nonsense opponents. It was just garbage time. It didn't matter. Now you got to be shooting every shot every week. And with the way that the Lions lost that game, I was so high on the Lions. They were looking so good. They'd won like 5 straight games. They were killing it. And they were playing the Carolina Panthers, who are a team who are garbage this year. They're trash. Their season's over. I don't know. Are they?
Their season's not over if they win on Sunday.
Yeah, and the Bucks lose. Yeah, because they had to play the Bucks. Well, we'll get to that later as well. But, oh, man, they're playing the Bears, who have nothing to play for except to spoil other people's seasons. And, man, Justin Fields just running up and down the field. I just watched Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. Even Sam Darnold looked like RG3 and freaking Michael Vick in their prime. Like, I don't understand what was happening on Sunday. I gotta take the Lions here. I'm taking the Lions because I think that Carolina might have been a trap game for them, and they were very much looking forward to the 2 weeks after having to play Chicago this week, and then next week basically being a pseudo playoff game with the way it's all shaking out against the Green Bay Packers. So I think maybe they just look past Carolina a little bit. I got the Lions riding the ship and getting this victory against a just very incomplete Bears team. They have so many holes, but they got a lot of bright pieces that could be great because they have a billion things for next year. But at this time, they're an incomplete team, so I'm going to take the Lions.
I am going to take the Lions as well, just because I want to see how they react with their backs against the wall. And I mean, the backs were kind of against the wall when they're 1-6, and now they're right there. They can get in the playoffs. I don't know. I just feel like, this is a tough one. I'm taking the Lions just because I feel like you're right. The Bears are an incomplete team, and I'm taking the Lions. I'm not going to talk myself out of it. So I'm moving on. The next game is at noon on Sunday, and it is the 7-8 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the 2-12-1 Houston Texans. Jacksonville is favored by 4.5, and this is a scary game because my brain is screaming out Jacksonville. Houston's good, but Jacksonville, Houston's not good. They've been playing good lately. They've been playing good against good teams lately, and they just got to win. But Jacksonville is hot, and they feel like they have this little fairy dust that was sprinkled on them. Like, Trevor Lawrence is looking good. They're playing good. They're moving the ball. Their defense is playing really good. And they're tied with the Titans record-wise, and I really think they're going to win this division, and they're going to beat Houston. But I'm worried that Houston is going to be like, oh, we won last week, and then they remembered how to win, and Jacksonville's going to turn into what they were at the beginning of the season, but I'm banking on that's not going to happen. I'm going Jacksonville.
First of all, what's the over-under on this game?
43.5.
Folks, with the bronze lock of the week, take the under. Because as I've said all year doing this podcast, Houston has a sneaky defense. And they've proven it the past few weeks, where they don't give up a ton of points. They might give up yards, but they just clamp down when they're supposed to. And I don't see this being many points scored in this game. I see this being a, 21-17 kind of game. So hit the under on this one for sure for the bronze lock of the week. And for my pick, I've been riding with the Jags all year. I told you weeks ago, get the money on the Jags winning the AFC South when they were still underdogs to win. And boys, girls, whatever in between, however you like to refer to yourself, they're going to win it. They are coming in hot. They are going to beat Houston this week. Give me the Jags. I don't think it'll be an easy win because, once again, Houston is a very sneaky defense. But I do have the Jags winning this game in the end. Give me Trevor Lawrence, who, fun fact, I heard on The Herd the other day, has the highest QBR in the entire NFL since week 7 in the NFL. Has just been absolutely ripping it up.
Okay, well, moving on to the next game on Sunday at noon, we have the 4-11 Denver Broncos, who just fired their head coach yesterday, facing the 12-3 Kansas City Chiefs. And yeah, I mean, Denver showed up against Kansas City last time, but that's not happening this time. Denver is officially done. They can stick a fork in them. They're going to give Seattle a top 5 pick, and Pete Carroll says thank you for doing business. And Kansas City is going to threaten to take the number 1 seed away from Buffalo this week. And it's a very likely thing that could happen. So I'm going with Kansas City. I think this one is a no-brainer.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where if this was a college game, I'd probably really consider taking the Denver Broncos because when you fire a coach, I don't know why, it always seems to happen, but that team, the next game, always seems to play harder and they generally seem to win. And maybe it's just something I've made up in my head and I only remember the instances of it being true, so that's why I think it's true. But I can't see Denver winning this game. Kansas City is the best offense in the NFL right now. They are scary good. They're scary efficient. They're not electric like they used to be when Tyreek Hill was there. Like, this isn't the I'm going to score 35 points in like 10 minutes on you because we're just going to do, 5 80-yard bombs in like 2 seconds. This is the I'm going to kill you with 1,000 paper cuts. You're just not going to be able to get me off the field, and there's nothing you can do about it. Patrick Mahomes is the MVP right now because, unfortunately, Jalen got hurt. I think Jalen had that award wrapped up had he been able to play the rest of the season. But missing that game and possibly missing this week, I think Patrick Mahomes is probably the MVP again. I got the Chiefs as well in this game. How much are they favored by?
They are favored by 13.5.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. If I was going to bet anything, I would probably bet Denver to maybe cover this, even though they just gave up 50 points. I don't think they're actually that bad, and I think that they will come out and play hard for the interim coach, whoever it is. I don't actually know who's their interim coach right now. But I think they'll play hard, and I would consider betting Denver, but I'm not actually very confident either way.
I mean, how crazy is it that Nathaniel Hackett didn't even make it the entire season?
That's what happens when you give up 50 points to frickin' Baker Mayfield-led Rams team, who are done. They're another team that's cooked, and you gave up 50 effing points.
Denver was a dark horse Super Bowl contender, and they got the head coach they wanted. They got the quarterback that was second on their list. They wanted Aaron Rodgers. but it's just nuts. It's nuts that he didn't even make the full season. He did as well as Urban Meyer.
Yeah, that's wild to think.
Urban Meyer got fired a little bit earlier, but still, both of them didn't make a full season. Moving on to the next game on Sunday at noon, we have the 8-7 Tua-less Miami Dolphins at 7-8 New England Patriots. I don't think that Tua's playing. I mean, it's very unlikely that Tua is going to play. Being in the concussion protocol for the third time, I mean, not good. And they let him play when apparently he had a concussion through a lot of the game. And that makes sense why he was throwing it right to the Packers.
I mean, yeah, that was pretty rough. If he because that video is circulating all over social media of when they say it looks like he hit his head egregiously on the turf, and that was in the first half. If he really once again played an entire second half of football with a concussion and led to that poor of play, because the Packers were getting decimated by Tua. Don't get me wrong, the game was close, but Tua was carving them up. And then that second half happened and he was just throwing it to the Packers. It looked so night and day different from the first to second half. That's scary. He better not be playing this week. And that's not even as a Patriots fan or anything. That's just as a person. That dude should not be on an NFL football field this week. He clearly has some issues going on, and he needs to get that worked on and fixed.
He should probably be shut down for the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even if they make the playoffs, I don't know, it's concussions. If it's the third time this year, there's got to be a limit, I think. You got to save him from himself at some point. I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, no one wants to see anybody get injured. I mean, I like that the Packers won the game, but I didn't want to see it because Tua wasn't at his best. I mean, so that's unfortunate. And I don't know why they stopped running the ball, because early on the Packers couldn't stop the run, and then they just committed to the pass. And did you see the Jair Alexander post-game interview with Pam Oliver?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, you gotta watch it. It's the funniest thing ever. Dude's a character. He's she asked him about his interception, and he's telling her about it, and he's so I'm backing up, and all of a sudden I see the ball, and I'm I can't believe it. Is he throwing to me? It's oh my God. He's I caught, you gotta watch it. It's the funniest thing ever. His reaction and his face, yeah. And then he shouts the Pack is back and runs away.
You gotta love a good post-game interview. He has a little
bit of Tony Plush in him. And those who know who Tony Plush is will probably agree with me.
Those are the days. Those are some... Tony Plush still got that jersey. It's classic. It's classic. Oh,
man.
In this game,
you're talking about Miami and New England.
I think New England can win this game. It's in New England, especially if it's T. Bridge playing back there. But, man, we are not looking... We're falling apart just like we did last year at this time. And we kind of limped into the playoffs last year and got housed by Buffalo. I don't even know if we're going to make it to the playoffs this year with the way we've been playing. But I think we can beat Miami with a Teddy Bridgewater-led team. And I just hope we can beat Miami. I'm going to take the Patriots. I'm not confident about it, but I'm taking the Pats.
I'm not super confident about it either. I'm just to be different. I'm going to take Miami. Teddy Bridgewater played earlier in the season. You still have Waddle, you still have Hill, you still have Mostert, you still have Kyle Wilson Jr., you still have playmakers, and Teddy Bridgewater isn't horrible. He might not be at a starter level anymore in the league, but I mean, he's not horrible. So yeah, I'm gonna just just to be different. I think it's pretty close. It's closer than a 2.5 point. I would give it a push, to be honest with you, just because New England hasn't been playing very good. Miami's lost 4 in a row, but I'm going Miami. The next game at noon on Sunday is the 4-10-1 Indianapolis Colts traveling to the 8-6-1 New York Giants. Giants are favored by 5. The Colts are the Colts. They're not any good. The Giants are falling apart, but this should be a winnable game for them and maybe get them on track to hold their playoff spot. But if they lose this game, they're almost done. I just don't see it happening. I'm going with the Giants.
Yeah, I feel so bad for the G-men. I cannot believe they lost to a 61-yard field goal. They deserve to win that game. They came back. I don't know what it is with the Vikings this year, who they sold their soul to, or what kind of deal they made with the devil. Because to be 11-0 in one-score games, once again, we're not talking about the Vikings right now, but it's just infuriating, and I'm going to keep bringing it up. 11-0 in one-score games just makes me so mad. But to this game, the Giants have got to win this game. The Colts are a team completely disjointed. They're going to be on a short week. They just played on Monday Night Football against the Chargers, which, why did the Colts have so many primetime games this year? I don't understand. They were never going to be a good team this year, even with Matt Ryan.
That's not true. They were a dark horse team too. They had Jonathan Taylor. They've seemed like the last couple seasons that they were just a quarterback away. That's why they went and got Phillip Rivers. Didn't work out. And they got Carson Wentz. It didn't work out. And then who would have guessed that Matt Ryan would have been the worst of the three? It's arguable between not Phillip Rivers. He's the best one, obviously. But between Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz, it is arguable. But I think that Matt Ryan has done way more damage than Carson Wentz did. But
100%. This team is trash. Jeff Saturday does not know what he is doing. I would not be surprised if the Colts once again didn't put up a touchdown in this game. I think that they cannot handle the blitz, and all the Giants do is blitz. So once again, this is one of those situations where I don't think it's going to work out well. I got the Giants going away. I will put the silver lock of the week. Giants are going to win this game, and they're going to win it by more than a touchdown. So, folks, give me those. I will eat those Giants points.
Yeah, the Colts aren't good. They're going to get a good draft pick, though, so maybe they'll actually draft a quarterback instead of trying to chase, quarterbacks past success.
Baker Mayfield to the Colts next year.
But apparently the Rams aren't getting rid of him. If you hear the comments from Sean McVay, he says he's not going anywhere. And apparently Matthew Stafford's job is not secure because of his injury. So
Matthew Stafford to the Colts.
There you go. I called that last year and he went to the Rams. But I don't know. Baker Mayfield and McVay have this relationship because, I don't know, it's a weird story. They sat next to each other on a plane. And McVay really likes Baker Mayfield, and apparently, Baker's 2-1 on the Rams, so maybe Baker is the quarterback that McVay wants to go with in the future. So who knows?
Who knows?
They don't have any draft picks. Baker's younger than Stafford. He still could be a franchise quarterback. So
I guess we'll find out. We're not even talking about the Rams right now, though, either.
I don't know how we got onto that subject. Anyways, moving on to the next game at noon on Sunday. It is the 6-9 New Orleans Saints traveling to the 13-2 Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, it's still up in the air whether Hurts is going to play or not. He's day to day, so I'm sure it's going to be a game time decision. I think either way, Philadelphia is going to win this game because the Saints aren't any good. Like we said last week, Gardner Minshew, why he isn't starting for somebody is just stupid. It's
Yeah.
I can't think of a better word, because there's so many teams out there that don't have great quarterbacks, and like people like the Jets believe in a guy like Mike White, and why doesn't anybody believe in Gardner Minshew?
I don't know.
Next year, hopefully next year,
Yeah.
somewhere he'll be starting. But
Dude, he has the greatest story. He was living in his car to like get on the team for the Jaguars, like makes the team and actually gets to start and played well. Like I just don't get why everyone hates on Gardner Minshew. He should definitely be a starting quarterback for some NFL team. Like he is better than anything they have in Houston. That's for damn sure.
also like in The Good Place when Blake Bortles gets released,
Yeah.
he just is automatically a Gardner Minshew fan.
Hey, Gardner Minshew is the most Duval County of any human I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, if I had to describe Duval County as a human, it would be Gardner Minshew.
I'm going to take it you're going with Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, without question. I think that if I was the Philadelphia Eagles, I would sit Hurts no matter what this week. Like, there is no reason to play him. Give him another week of rest and let Minshew play. Let's get some Minshew mania going again.
I would agree with that. They've already locked up a playoff spot. They're one win away from locking up the division. But yeah, I don't know. I would probably rest Hurts as well, just because like you're most likely gonna have the 1 seed, and a healthy Jalen Hurts in the playoffs could do some damage. So I don't know who's gonna beat the 49ers. I really don't. So you're gonna need to come at full strength. So yeah, definitely. I don't even think I would question it. I would even announce it. I wouldn't even care. You're playing the Saints.
Yeah.
The Saints aren't gonna beat you.
Saints, it's not. If it was in New Orleans, maybe like you're a little worried, but it's in Philadelphia. Just rest Hurts and just run on the ball. Run the ball all over the Saints, just like everyone else has done to the Saints. It's fine. Just run the ball.
Here we go. We got another game at noon on Sunday, and it is the 6-9 Carolina Panthers at the 7-8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is favored by 3. I cannot comprehend how Tampa Bay won on Sunday night. Like, it just does not make sense to me. Like, I mean, I know they're playing Arizona, and I know that, like, I know everything, but, like, they did not look good on Sunday, and then they still came back. Game went into overtime. Tom Brady's like, oh, I'm Tom Brady, and we win the game. I don't get it. And I don't understand Carolina either. Are they good? Are they not? It's like every other week. I'm taking Carolina in this game because Tampa Bay played in overtime, and I'm going to listen to Chad. And also, when Carolina can move the ball, like when they run the ball, their defense is good enough to stop Tampa Bay. I don't know why Carolina is not favored, to be honest with you. I'm going with Carolina for sure.
These two teams. I mean, that Carolina versus the Lions game. I know you said you were, at Christmas Eve, so you weren't watching it. I could not believe the stat line as I'm watching Red Zone. Like, I thought that Red Zone, it literally looked like Red Zone just kept showing replays of Carolina's like 40-yard runs, because every 2 to 3 minutes, Carolina would have another 40-yard freaking run. Like, the Lions could not stop them at all. It looked like they had 100 Barry Sanders out there. Like, they were juking every linebacker. Other times it looked like they were playing against the Vince Lombardi-led Packers as the holes in the Lions offense. Like, the guys weren't getting hit for 20 yards till 20 yards down the field. Like, it didn't make any sense. And then the freaking Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they are just Tom Brady now, huh? Like, that's all that team is. There is no one else on that team who is doing anything. It is Tom Brady by grabbing the entire rest of the team by the scruff of the neck and dragging them kicking and screaming to victories, because none of them want to win a game. Once again, another touchdown called back because of an idiotic offensive play. Like, Tom Brady is doing everything he humanly can to try and get Tampa Bay to win games, and he did it again. And You know what? It's going to be January football. I don't bet against Tom Brady in January. I will take Tampa Bay to win this game and lock up the NFC South. And then Tom Brady gets another shot at the playoffs. But real quick, did you also hear that Tom Brady has said that he's not even considering retirement?
That is just... Is it going to be a situation where, like, they force him into retirement, like, nobody signs him? I'm to the point, is it even worth... Because he's going to want money. Is he worth the money that he's going to be asking for?
Tom Brady.
I don't think
Colt.
he is. Oh, man. No, Tom Brady's going to the Patriots, dude. I'm telling you.
Oh, my God. He comes back to the Patriots.
He's going to end his career as a Patriot. He's going to ride off into the sunset, beating the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl. We're finally going to get the Patriots-Packers Super Bowl we've been calling for like 20 years.
Yeah. Once again, if there's ever a Packers-Patriots Super Bowl, I'm going into hiding. I will not be seen. But, yeah, I forgot we were talking about.
I'm calling it right now. Next year, mark my words, save this clip. You should cut it out right now. Tom Brady is going to be the starting quarterback of the New England Patriots.
I'd be fine with it. I would welcome him back with open arms.
That's the only team that will pay him. Robert Kraft is like, he's seen what life is like without Tom Brady. But he's not going to get the Tom Brady he thinks he's going to be getting. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's not Tom Brady of old. It's a new Tom Brady who throws the ball 50 times a game.
He's still going to be good enough to win him a Super Bowl because of their defense. Just like Peyton Manning in his final year.
I would be so happy with an 8th Super Bowl. But yes, I'm taking the Bucs and Tom Brady. And I guarantee I don't know if he'll play for the Patriots next year, but I will guarantee he will not be a Buccaneer next year no matter what.
Free agent, so yeah, the Buccaneers are pretty much going to blow up that team. They're going to fire pretty much everybody, and they're probably going to let a lot of people go, not renew some contracts, and rebuild. But moving on, next game Sunday at noon, we have the 6-9 Cleveland Browns at the 7-1 Washington Commanders. I don't know who's starting that game for the Commanders because...
Oh, it's already been announced. Carson Wentz is the starter. They're benching Heineke.
And I'm picking Cleveland. Thank you very much.
Yep, I don't even really need to say much either about that. You're starting Carson Wentz. I'm picking against you. I 100% am going with Cleveland as well in this game. Real unfortunate for the Commanders.
I don't know why. Just yeah. Yep. I'm trying to bet Heineke finishes this game.
Yeah. Oh, I would bet that Carson Wentz does not play the entire game. I'm also benching Scary Terry this week in fantasy football because for some reason, Carson Wentz does not throw the ball to Terry McLaurin at all.
Like I said last week, if Ron Rivera benches Heineke for Carson Wentz, he should be fired on the spot. So, I mean, I'd fire him, but he works for Washington, so they never do anything right over there.
Nope. Should have stuck with being called the Washington Football Team. That was a way better name.
Moving to the final game at noon on Sunday. Originally, this one was in the Sunday Night Football slot, but it got moved out, I think, for the Rams and the Chargers.
Oh, isn't it the Ravens and the Steelers?
That's what I had. Then so I had conflicting things. So originally it was the Rams and the Chargers, and then it got flexed out.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's what
I had
think.
conflicting things, so I didn't know which was which. So then
Yes.
we'll skip that and go to the end.
Fantastic.
And we'll go. Then this is actually a first 3:05 game on Sunday. It is the 13, and that's not correct. I didn't update these records here. These are
week
from
17. We're doing great at this still.
All right. It is How many losses do the 49ers have? 3 or 4?
4. They've won 8 straight games. I know that.
11-4 San Francisco 49ers, and what's Vegas? 6-9.
9.
I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, that's right. I have it right here. 6-9.
Okay. Yep. We're gonna get this down at some point. Anyways, the 11-4 San Francisco 49ers travel to 6-9 Las Vegas Raiders. The 49ers are favored by 6, and I'm going with the 49ers because I don't know who's going to beat them. They just look like impenetrable, and I just don't know who's going to actually beat them.
That defense gets better and better each and every week as every other great defense in the NFL seems to falter and have missteps as the season has gone along. That 49ers defense gets better and better and better. I mean, even with Brock Purdy not playing well, they still absolutely housed the Washington Commies and got Heineke benched for Carson Wentz. That's how good that defense is, that Ron Rivera thought it was a better idea to put Carson Wentz in. Maybe it was just protecting Heineke, who knows. But I have the 49ers in a long shot here. No chance in hell. This, folks, is the golden lock of the week. Eat those 6 points. This 49ers defense is gonna eat. They're probably gonna win the game by at least 14 themselves. Like, when your offense only has to put up 14 points a game, and your defense will probably put up 14 points a game and not give up more than, 12, you're gonna win every game. I do agree. I don't know who beats them, and I think it's gonna come down to a bad game. Like, I think, have to beat themselves in a lot of ways. I think Philly can push them and make them make mistakes, and I think that's the only way that you can beat this 49ers team.
I don't know if they can even beat themselves. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Since they've went on this run, I haven't seen it yet.
8 straight games. It's wild.
Have the 7-8 New York Jets traveling to the 7-8 Seattle Seahawks. Mike White is back. They announced he's starting. They deactivated Zach Wilson. Reports are that they're already giving up on the kid, and he's going to be looking for a new home, which I think is crazy. He's only 22 years old. Like, there's a lot of kids that are 22 years old that are seniors in college. Like, give the kids some time to develop. I mean, seriously, someone might, give this guy a chance, and he could be everything that he was drafted to be, but maybe not. Maybe this hurt him coming into the league too early. Who knows? But I do know that Mike White is the better option. It's the best option. Both these teams are just hanging on to trying to get into the playoffs. And I think Seattle, for the most part, is worn out. I think that the Jets have a little bit more in them, especially getting White back is going to rejuvenate them a little bit. So I'm going to go with the Jets.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot to say about this. The Seahawks, unfortunately, I think the loss of Tyler Lockett is a lot more detrimental than we all like to think. Like, Tyler Lockett is one of the he's a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL that we don't ever talk about, and it's, I think, just because he plays out on the Northwest Coast, so a lot of people don't watch Seahawks games, but he is the model of consistency. He is just a great wide receiver, and it doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball. He does great things with it. Without him, DK Metcalf can't carry that team by himself, even though he's a beast. I have the Seahawks losing this game. Give me the Jets, holding on to playoff hopes, and with the way the Patriots and the Dolphins are playing, I don't know. They could sneak in. I really wouldn't be shocked to see the Jets sneak in on some last-second shenanigans.
On Sunday, 3:25, we have the 12-3 Minnesota Vikings traveling to the 7-8 Green Bay Packers. Packers are favored by 3. Oh man, we talked last week that Miami was a hurdle. If they got past Miami, then it was truly realistic that they can make the playoffs. And we didn't even talk about everything that needed to happen. And last week truly was Christmas for the Green Bay Packers. All 4 teams that they needed to lose ahead of them lost. And they won. Yeah, I don't know. The Packers are playing a little bit better. Their defense, they have never put together an entire game yet, which is very concerning because we're in week 17. But is this the week that they do it? Like, do they need to face a team like the Vikings? Are they going to be the team to beat them in a 1-possession game? Like, the only non-1-possession game winner the Vikings have is week 1 against the Packers.
Yeah.
The Packers going to repay them for that loss? I hate this. I truly hate this because, like, I gave up on this team weeks ago. When they lost 5 in a row, I didn't think, like, when we got this far in the season, we would still be talking about them making the playoffs. And all they need is to win out and have the Commanders lose 1, and they're in. It's that simple. And I can't believe it's that simple this late in the season. I don't even know. I'm going with the Packers. Like, I'm not going to not go with the Packers. But I am so nervous for this game. And the theme of this season is the Packers, they won't go away. They give you that little ounce of hope, and then they just rip it away from you. And I'm really hoping that that's not what's going to happen here. I don't expect them to go to the Super Bowl anymore. Like, they were my preseason pick. But if they somehow put it all together and snuck into the playoffs, I think I would be satisfied with this mess of a season that they had. Still think Joe Barry should be fired. Still think that we need some new upper management. But I don't know. I'm going with the Packers. I realistically think they can beat the Vikings because the Vikings, in a lot of ways, are like the Packers. They're not very good.
No.
And this game is at 3:25. It's not at noon, which also helps the Packers.
It's true. It's true.
The lights will be on. Going Green Bay.
I despise this game because I do think the Packers should win this game. I think they're playing the Vikings. They're playing for their hope. They're playing for their season. They're playing for basically everything in this game. And the Vikings are not. They already are basically the 2 seed. They would need some crazy stuff to happen. They would have to win out, and Philadelphia would have to lose out for them to get the 1 seed at this point, because they did lose to Philadelphia, so they lose that tiebreaker right there. So you're basically locked into the 2 seed at this point, but they hate the Packers. How happy would the Vikings be to end the Packers season? Because a Packers loss here basically ends all hope. Like, there's really I'm sure there's ways they can still get in, like if the Commanders lose out and the Giants lose out. I don't know. I'm sure there's ways they can still get in, but losing this game to the Vikings would be detrimental and just be horrible for the Packers. But it's Kirk Cousins, and I hate Kirk Cousins. But it's Justin Jefferson, and I like Justin Jefferson. And who's going to cover Justin Jefferson? Last time he went off in week 1 for 5,000 yards and was just running up and down the field. Is Jair Alexander going to go one-on-one with him all game? Do I think that'll help anything?
They don't do that.
Yeah, well, they don't do that. And even if they did, I don't think it would help, because Justin Jefferson has been torching everyone all year. And, you know what? I've been picking against him all year, so maybe this will help them lose. And if I do get it right, then I get it right. I'm going to take the Purple People Eaters. I'm going to take the Vikings. I don't like the pick at all. I do think the Packers could win this game, but I think it's coin flip. And in coin flip games, it's come up Vikings every time this year. So I guess I'm going to go with the ratio and the odds.
Yeah, but there's a first time for everything. And I wish this game was on December 31st rather than January 1st because Matt LaFleur, in his 4 seasons as head coach of the Packers, is undefeated in December, which is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's a wild stat. I heard that on the herd the other day too.
But I don't know, this game, at the beginning of the season, I thought this game was going to have a lot of meaning for different reasons. I'm actually kind of surprised this game wasn't the game that got flexed into Sunday Night Football, to be honest with you.
It was between this Packer game, the New England game, and then the Pittsburgh game that they were going to flex. And I am also shocked that they didn't choose either the New England game or the Packer game over the Steelers and Ravens game.
It seems like they like to do Lambeau under the lights a lot. I do feel like if Green Bay wins this game and Detroit wins against Chicago, that's going to be the game flexed into Sunday Night Football.
I would agree with that.
And I think that should be the game that, even though it's for, if things go right, it could be for the 6th seed. Yeah. Oddly enough, I don't think it will be. I think it'll be for the 7th seed. But imagine 3 years ago, we wouldn't even be talking about this. They'd probably already both be eliminated.
Yeah.
But
wild times we live in. 2022.
This game, a couple weeks ago, I didn't think I was going to be nervous for this game. I didn't think it was going to matter at all. But I can't believe that the Packers are 7-8. I can't believe they've won 3 in a row. It's mind-boggling. And Aaron Rodgers, you can see it, and his thumb must be healing because he had some dimes he dropped, like the one to Mercedes Lewis, which I'm so glad that we have that guy, even 17 years in the league. Yeah. That guy, no one covers him because they forget he's there because he's so slow. But he's always wide open.
He's always wide open.
They just think he's going to be out there to block, and then he actually goes and runs a route, and he's wide open. But yeah, I'm excited for this game, but I'm very nervous. This is a playoff game.
Oh yeah,
this is definitely a playoff game, and I am very nervous. But that's why I love football. I love this feeling. I don't like the feeling afterwards when you lose. But
it's not a good feeling.
I had a whole different feeling when the Packers won on Sunday, than I've had the whole season long, because it wasn't real until they beat Miami, and now it's I'm so confused. But moving on to last game in the afternoon slots, we have what's supposed to be on Sunday Night Football, the 5-10 Los Angeles Rams traveling to their home field, which is then playing the 9-6 Los Angeles Chargers. Finally, Justin Herbert is in the playoffs. They clinched the wild card spot. The Rams, besides the Packer game, they've been playing decent. But, the Chargers have as well. And that defense is getting a lot better. Obviously, the Chargers are going to win this game. Yeah. Chargers are winning this game.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this game at all. The one thing I am going to say about this game is I'm not betting on this game at all. I'm not going to touch it because I really don't know. Which Baker Mayfield shows up? Is it the Baker Mayfield who just carved up the Denver defense, who led the league in 3-and-outs and instead gave up 51 points? Or is it going to be the Baker Mayfield who couldn't even stay on the field in Carolina and got benched for P.J. Walker and Sam Darnold? I just don't know. And then also with San Diego, I know they're not San Diego, but once again, they're the San Diego Superchargers. The Superchargers, Justin Herbert, he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in the past 2 or 3 weeks. Why? How are you not throwing touchdown passes? You have 1,000 receivers out there who are all great, and Austin Eckler is holding the team together in a lot of ways, but they throw the ball 57 times a game. They don't make any sense, and I don't like this at all. So I am all in on the Chargers winning this game, but I'm not going to bet a dime on it.
I had to do some quick research for this next game. Anyways, the next game is Sunday Night Football. It was flexed in, as we talked about before. We have the 7-8 Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the 10-5 Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are favored by 3, and I'm telling you right now, I'm taking Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been playing a lot better. Pickett is looking pretty good for a rookie, and like quietly, like you don't really hear him talk about it. Then he has Pickens, which is very confusing, but I love it at the same time. It's a different look in Pittsburgh, and I'm actually really liking it. And I'm also calling them already to win next week because they're playing the Browns, and if that happens, they'll finish 9-8. The possibility to snatch that 7 seed, but more importantly, it keeps. Oh man, I can't think of his name right now.
Mike Tomlin.
What's his name? Mike Tomlin's streak of never finishing under 500 alive, and I want that for him. I really do. I don't even care if they make the playoffs, but I want him to go 9-8, just so. Yeah.
Now that Big Ben's not there, I don't feel as dirty rooting for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin, because Mike Tomlin just seems like the coolest dude ever. Like, just no nonsense. Like, this is football.
Unless you're running kicks back.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, he's a little shiesty on that.
How many times has he tripped somebody? Like,
I know.
It's not happened just once.
No. he's good at it too. He's just that subtle little kick out. No one even notices, or until they do.
I'm looking. Oh,
I'm just looking. But yeah, no. This game, I also agree. I like the Steelers in it. I don't know if Lamar Jackson is going to play in this game, but even if he does play in this game, he has not looked great. And if there's one kryptonite that the Ravens always seem to have, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, they just can never get over the hump that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like Najee Harris running the ball against this Ravens defense. And then, yeah, George Pickens on the outside. I don't know who will cover him. So he'll just run around. And then you got Kenny Pickett throwing the ball with his tiny hands. Remember we were all talking about that before the season started? He's got tiny hands. Can't be an NFL quarterback. What a weird shit we talk about in the offseason. But I got the Steelers. Yeah. I agree.
Remember when Brian Bulaga was drafted by the Packers and they said he wasn't going to be any good because he had short arms?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that they were wrong about that. He was actually an all-pro. Yeah. Anyways, moving on to Monday Night Football, the main event of the week. Like I said, finally a game that is worthy of prime time this year. And we have the 12-3 Buffalo Bills traveling to the 11-4 Cincinnati Bengals. This could be a playoff matchup. I'm very excited for this game. I'm definitely watching this game. Cincinnati's been hotter than Buffalo lately. This is gonna be a heavyweight title fight. And seeding is going to be involved as well because Cincinnati beats Buffalo. They get the tiebreaker over that. And if somehow Kansas City, I don't know what Kansas City and Cincinnati, did they play each other?
They already played each other. Or Cincinnati beat them.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So if they beat Buffalo, they're the number 1 seed.
I think so.
Or if Kansas City loses.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going Cincinnati. Buffalo is favored by 1.5. But, I like Joe Burrow. You talk about how Jalen Hurts has MVP locked up and it's probably going to Mahomes, and I agree with you. I think it's going to Mahomes, but I think that Burrow is going to take every last opportunity that he can to be like, hey, don't forget about me. He's going to get some first place votes, I feel.
Don't you forget about me.
I'm so excited for this current crop of young quarterbacks that we're going to be watching for the next decade. Oh my God. I'm going Cincinnati. I like the Bengals.
Yeah, no, I once again, I would love to pick a different team against you and try and make up some ground here, but Josh Allen has been a turnover machine. He had multiple turnovers last week against the Bears. They were losing in the first half against the Bears, and yeah, they pulled it together and ran the ball for 200 yards in the second half and won that game, but you ain't doing that against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's offense is good to great right now, and their defense is also good to great right now. I love Cincinnati in this game. If I wouldn't have used all 3 of my locks already, I'd probably put a lock on this game, because this is a bonus lock, because Cincinnati playing at home against the Bills, who I said this way back when they played the Packers. They don't have that championship killer instinct. I don't think the Bills, as they are currently formulated, with, I don't know if it's the head coach, I don't know if it's Josh Allen, I don't know exactly what it is, but they don't have that feel of a stomp on your throat to win the game kind of team. And Cincinnati does. Cincinnati just won a knockdown, drag-out fight with the Patriots, who the Patriots tried everything they could to claw their asses back into that second half, and they did. But Cincinnati, you know what they did? They shut them down at the end. And that's what Cincinnati does. The Bills, I don't have a lot of faith in. I think they're a really great team with a lot of great pieces, but I don't believe in their championship moxie, if you will. So I'm taking Cincinnati as well.
Well, so here's the deal. You do have a chance to come back on me this week if everything goes your way again. So we have 4 games that are different.
Oh, man, the classic 4 games.
So it is very possible for you to pass me again because it's already happened twice this year. And this is almost like the final laps of like the Daytona 500 where like it's going back and forth. Like,
it's getting exciting, folks.
It is. This week has been better matchups than the last couple weeks. I'm really excited that we get, I think, 9 noon games on Sunday. So not only are we getting the Octo box, we're getting whatever 9 is. I don't even know.
Nano
box? The Nano box?
Nona, I think is how you spell it.
Box.
Sure.
So, Packers Vikings should be a good one. And the Monday Night Football is going to be awesome. The only games I don't care about are really Arizona and Atlanta and Denver, Kansas City.
Yeah. But the Denver-Kansas City game could have implications if Denver pulls a rabbit out of its hat somehow.
Interesting stuff. So, I don't know. I don't have anything else. You have any final thoughts for the final show of 2022?
Good luck to everyone who is in their fantasy football championships. It is fantasy championship week for just about everyone out there. It is always the second to last week of the regular season. I did make it to 1 championship, as I stated earlier, and then Diesel and I are playing in the Toilet Bowl in our other league. So also good luck to everyone who's playing in the Toilet Bowl. May you not get last place in your league unless you're going for it, so you can have the first pick. But yeah, just good luck to everyone in fantasy football. I know you're all going to need it. I know I sure as hell need it, so.
Wish you luck in your championship game, but wish you luck in the Toilet Bowl as well. I'm not going to be a jerk about it. If I lose, it's the same outcome as most years. Don't know how I always end up in that game. I
don't get it, Diesel, man. Never have I seen someone just have that kind of luck in fantasy football. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, and you are just the most broken of clocks that's never been right.
That's some good players this year. Just didn't work out for me. But oh well. There's always next year. But we still got some football left. We're almost to the playoffs, which is really exciting, which also sucks. How did the season go by so fast? Like, it seems like it was just a couple weekends ago we had our fantasy draft at your house.
I know.
And now we're at week 17, and just 2 more weekends, and we're in the playoffs. And that's when the real excitement begins, but
damn.
Love the playoffs so much, but I hate it at the same time because it means the season is over.
Yep.
You gotta wait 8 months for 4 months of enjoyment. It's not fair.
It's not cool. It's not cool at all. But we'll have the XFL next year. Maybe we'll do view from the top of the goalpost and we'll do XFL predictions.
Maybe we should.
I'd be down.
Maybe we should. That probably would be fun. Well, anyways, I think we'll close this one off. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Also, I guess you can follow me on Twitter at Diesel_VFTR. You can follow Chad on Twitter at Chads_mind. You can follow Visionaries Global Media on Twitter at VizGlobalMedia. You can watch us on YouTube by searching Visionaries Global Media. You can also join Visionaries Global Media by sending your podcast into visionariesglobalmedia@gmail.com. And we're on platforms, like I said, YouTube. I guess for us, we can probably work something out. I don't know how that works. We didn't discuss that. Scratch that. We are on Google Play, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, Podknife, Potable, and Amazon Music.
Yep.
And as far as that, I hope everyone has a happy and safe New Year. We're going to have a great week of football. I hope that everyone has a safe New Year's Eve and milks their hangover on Sunday by watching some football.
Damn right.
And on that note, I think it's time to get out of here. So, for my good buddy, the Dadillac Chad, I am and always will be Diesel. I say, let's watch some football.
Bye.
This has been a Visionaries Global Media production. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.